Well, as you can see, it's grazing the water now. It's because I've just added some more of the blanket, cloverleaf blanket answer. With this warmer weather, of course, again, what algae coming again. What's mine is I'm getting dead algae, and it's been tending to clog up my filters a little bit. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll get a good vacuum out tomorrow. It should be clear by then, I think. But that's the way to do. Keep on top of it. Keep adding a bit more. Some say that it takes a long time to clear, but I bet this is cleared by tomorrow. We'll see anyway. But yeah, add your more blanket answer, and then clean your filters out more regular. You want to be at least 2-3 times a week if it's clogging up with the dead algae. And if you've got a vacuum, I have, let's just say once or twice a week, even with vac. It's a Saturday morning. I put that blanket answer in yesterday. As you could see, it was all grey was the water, milky. Well, it's cleared by morning now. Now I've got quite a bit of dead algae in there, but I'm going to vacuum it out in a bit. Clean my filters again. And I'm just going to go over that easy again. I didn't quite explain right last week. I'll do a demo again and I'll clean it out. I'll show you when we start, like we take the lid off, put it down there, and you're supplied with a piece of pipe that fits in here. As so, stops it going down, running back into the pond, and then the water will fill up to this level here you want, and then you put the air on to bring all the dirt out. As I say, those are the plates I put on, and I told you how you could do it a lot cheaper. Just a bit of polycarbonate and cut it up to size. But, one or two have come back saying you had a great idea. You can cut them far better than what I have. But if you cut it, just get a black marker pen and get your polycarbonate, cut it, mark it out complete to size, then just drill a few holes in and you can put your cable ties in. Right, you can see it's coming up to level now. That's just about where it wants to be. So then shut off your inlet valve, which is positioned down there. I've got inlet and outlet, and that's your inlet, of course, and that's my outlet, just further down. Just reposition the camera there. Right, now then, once you got to that level then, put your air on. This is what I meant by it bubbles up, and then it's pushing the air through these chambers where your media is, and of course it's pushing the dirt out then, which comes into this outer chamber. You want to leave that about, I would say 10 minutes anyway, until the water's clear anyway, and then of course flush it away. I've got a pump actually on the outlet, but mine is pump fed into. I can let it just go by opening the valve and releasing it, but I've got a pump on, just empty it a bit quicker. But you see what I mean? If it's bubbling like this, if you don't have a cover on, and if you do like I do, walk away and start doing something else, you get that bit of water still filling up purely through gravity, I suppose, and they start bubbling out all over, and I've walked away and it's been all over the floor and everywhere. But that's the reason. And the easy thing is, I'll just get that other piece again. Piece of polycarbonate, put it to where you want, and then just use a black marker pen, do what, you know, mark it out and then cut it. And I say this is fairly cheap there's a firm on the computer, I can't remember the name now, but there's umpteen. But if you look through, they usually forget for greenhouses, etc. But you can buy a sheet cheap enough. B&Q you can get it, but you pay a lot more actually there. The other thing you could do was put a bit of netting. Again, put ties on. I had netting on. Yeah, I think this solved my problem anyway. I'll still walk away and start doing something else and I'll not be frightened. You see all that dirt coming out. So I'm going to have to leave that 10 minutes running now. I'll come back to it when it's cleared. This isn't my main filter. My Nexus 210 is the main filter down there. But to be honest, I think that with 2,000 gallon pond like I might have just been better having two of these. They are very good. You see all that dirt coming out. I'm having to get a bigger air pump for my Nexus 210. I actually changed it 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and when I look, it's not as powerful as what is recommended. With this dead algae going in now, it's not chewing it up enough. Anyway, I found one. I'm gonna to be on its way nearly next week. If you can see this, a bit dark down there, isn't it? Well, that's my outlet, which it runs. I put the pump on. I won't do it just now, but put the pump on, it runs fast, and that runs down to my drains. But not secured up tight. And what I can do then, I can use this water on my garden. No good wasting it. Yes, it's good for your garden, is that? Fish crap on your garden. Helps the plants grow. And dead algae. That's me being idle, but you just put that on if you want it to pump out and it drains. Right, that's after about 15 minutes now. It's more or less running clear. You could probably push it through twice. But what I do then is I just open my waste valve. I have a pump on mine here. I can pump it out now. And all the waste from this outer chamber now will be pumped away. How it works is your water comes in here into this outer chamber, gravity at mine's pump fed, and there's like a sieve all the way around to go onto the inner chamber, and the water then goes into the inner chamber, and you've got the media in there then, and it's literally filtering it, the water all the time. And then there's like an outlet there back into the pond, as you can see, and it'll then runs back into the pond, you see. Well, as it's emptying now, I'll take this pipe back out. I'll just get the hose pipe, I'll give it a flush round, and then it's operating again. And that, because I've got two filters, the other one I say I do twice a week at least. This I'll only do once a week. I hope that explains, because one or two said they weren't quite sure how it worked properly from last week's video. That's my other 25 watt UV. And it comes in from the pond through there and into the filter and running again. And that's where it comes in this outer chamber, through to your inner chamber, through the media, and then down the outlet pipe there, which, as you know, as I showed last week, runs back into my pond via a waterfall. Very easy to do. Not better than the old days with all the sponges and Japanese matting, the brushes, you name it. It's been mess everywhere. Now it's just a case of valves and pushing buttons. A lot easier, but of course at a price. If you've got the Nexus, I think the Nexus 210, 300, 330, whatever. That pipe that runs round underneath the media, it's into brackets at the bottom, and it's a job to get to, because you have to take most of your media out, which I have just done. But I found that it wasn't blowing right. I was blaming my air pump, but just been round now, use a needle, all these holes, gone through them all, and it's working 100 times better. So I've just got to fix it back in at the bottom and put the media back in now. And I'm still going to put a bigger air pump on. It's 4,400 litres per hour, the one I've got on now. And the 95 gives, I think, 5,600 litres an hour of air. I don't know. More powerful anyway. But yeah, that's cured that little problem. Put all that lot back together again now. I forgot to show last week, I didn't mention, was a 14 skimmer It's something I've always had and I recommend as well. I'm not sure the price now. I think about £60–70 when I bought this, but I've had it to go up 3–4 years now. But I've always had one. Some of them fixed onto the side of the pond, but this is just a floating one. You just wire it up to your electrics. I put it on a chain so that it doesn't float all over the pond like, but yeah, and I use that filter cloth, just put a bit of filter cloth in there. They supply them with, it's like rubbery plastic, but it soon wears out. But you can buy that filter cloth cheap, like I said before, and then just keep putting a piece of that in every 3 or 4 days. And you can see, I've just put that in about a quarter of an hour ago. Look at the bits that's collected already. Everything else with a pond, and as you see now it's clear, but of course after putting that banky tancer in yesterday, I've got a lot of dead floating algae now. But I'm going to get the vac out, as I say, and I'll show you doing that. But I'm just going to show that easy pod again. I didn't quite explain it right. We tool the vac with the dead algae, of course. You've got to get as much out as you can. You'll see this clear pipe at the end here of my vac. You'll see the algae coming up, the black algae coming up. And I only did this a fortnight ago, but I say I put the clover leaf in yesterday, so there's a lot of loose algae. You can see it now, dead algae. You'll see it coming up now. Bit awkward to film it and do it at the same time. You see all that dead algae coming up there. I just have it running into this tub here, which again now I've got more water for the garden with the fish waste and dead algae in it. That comes in handy. I think I paid about 120, 130 for that. It's about 4 or 5 years ago. I think they have a lot more modern ones now. That sort of goes and stops. But they've got them with 3 sponges in now with a constant flow. But they're well worth having. It gets all that dirt out of the bottom of your pond. I know we've got us bottom drains, etc., but you still get a lot of dead algae building up. I got tip acroflavin. It's a good cure for a lot of things. But I treat my pond with it at the beginning of the year, just what you might call just in case treatment. But it's good, and I keep reading about so many that's bought a new koi and put it in the pond and then they've had problems. Really, when you buy a new koi, you should quarantine for about 2 weeks, a week at least. And you want to put something like that in, and just in case there's anything there, it'll stop it. Whenever I've had a new ones, I've done it in the past where I put one in, and they tell me that your own koi can be quite happy, no problem. Well, they could have a problem, but you don't know about it. But you had a new koi, and all of a sudden, all the problems come out. But like I say, the best thing is, if you're buying any new, quarantine them for at least a week, and put some sort of treatment in. It's like an anaesthetic, like a, I don't know. Anyway, it's what I think anyway. So if you do have flukes, I know a few of you said that you've been able to take scrapes and you've found that they've got flukes. Well, I always found this were good. Put them in a bowl separately, a big bowl, you'll have one, I suppose, and put some potassium permanganate in. It's on the labels, it tells you how to treat. Going back years ago when I used to have athlete's foot bad, athlete feet, I used to put that in, it used to cure it. Well, I tell you, it cures your fish as well. Just about at the level it should be now, on topped up. It's all looking nice and clean. For how long? Yeah, it should be alright that now. I'll still put that bigger air pump on, but I'm happy now, that's working well. We've got very hard water here, and I should have known it. It's build up like a calcium at the back of on that pipe. And so pushing that thick needle through it just cleared it all. It's working fine. Here we are, it's Saturday tea time, so we're in the weekend treat, some mussels. A lot keep saying now, have I got solar panels all over my filters? No, it's just I use that polycarbonate sheeting as covers. It's I had this decking board all the way on, but it's that heavy to lift off. You can't smoke this, of course it's dead easy. You pick these up with your little finger. Only thing, if it's really windy, I've got to put a bit of weight on, but no, it was just a way of putting a cover on, which was easy to lift off. Look, it is looking a lot better now. Just getting a few of them fish sticks they like. Anyway, weather's like this, they like out. They'll eat out. Beautiful, my boys and girls.